Hello there. I wanted to show off my build for Master Demonweb Pits. I was asked if I will record a video about that. So here we go. This is the finished build with equipment from Demonweb Pits. But remember, it's not the only way to build yourself as a cleric. That's just how I built myself. Many choices were not taken from the highest DPS potential. I just like some of the items. I like high item level items. So let's go. First is the helmet from Master Demonweb Pits. You can use the helmet from Dragon Hunts or the accuracy helmet. It's really good, but I have too much accuracy to put that on. I would have to switch some stats. Moreover, that helmet is not perfect for arbiters because you can't maintain all the stacks. However, when you are using the Arcturia set on article, it's 2 seconds max to get all the stacks, because Arcturia on article procs, when it procs, it hits more than 10% of your health, and each hit from Arcturia on top of your own hits is getting you a stack. So after a daily and 2 encounters, most of the times you're good and you have all the stacks. However, I built myself a little bit overcap just to be sure I have high enough crit strike. The armor from Dragon Hunts, you can fit, probably you can fit the damage armor or the crit strike, crit severity armor. With the new weapons, you don't really need that much of crit strike and crit severity. New arms, I wanted to try the arms that gives damage bonus after a daily. Not sure if those will be better than that one, but I didn't get those yet after many runs, and still don't get the damage bonus. The new weapon set from Demonweb Pits, the common advantage boots. I don't really like to keep close to the boss during the fight, so I'd rather not use those. But I like high item level items, and it works in my build. There's plenty of shoes you can use, I think. Maybe for accuracy, I was using those previously, but as you see my ratings, I'm perfectly distributed with the ratings, so I don't need another 10,000 accuracy. Still running Arcturia set. Maybe it's not the best, but it's really good on article, and that's where the damage matters, in my opinion. The new rings from Demonweb Pits, you can also use rings from Semnet Reliquary. However, I don't have another one of the shift ring, which gives you a damage bonus when you shift. The one I got is on my wizard, because I didn't think I will use it on cleric. I also don't like the idea of dashing before the article. Many times I forget about that, so I use the bonus, but you could use those. It's a very good ring set. And the shirt for damage bonus against drow and spiders, and the new pants. Probably those pants are better, but as I said, I like high item level. But remember, don't build yourself just for high item level. The equipment must work for you, and you should get your caps. That's how I run my enchantments. When you're in party, you just do that, and the Mystic Aura and Pack Tactics will cap your accuracy and combat advantage. it gives exactly the same amount of stats as the enchantments. So just to run around with the perfect caps, I'm using those enchantments. But in a dungeon, depending which auras we have, most of the times you will have Mystic Aura, and in tactics you'll run like that. A little bit over cap on the power. Yeah, Lightning Flash, like always. Movement bonus. I use it most of the times, and in the fights I'm using either action bonus or Reacher Speed. I don't think the action bonus is that important for me, because I don't use daily power in between the articles, because I don't want to miss the Arturia on article. And most of the times when I use it in the middle of RT cooldown, I won't get a max AP for another article, so I just use one daily each minute on each article. So I'm good without a medic action bonus. I know that clerics can drop additional daily in between the articles. I know clerics that do that, but I don't do that. I was trying to drop more Prophecy of Doom in each RT cooldown. So if you did that right, you will be able to drop 3 full rotations in between articles if everything go right. Those are my RTs. Out of Pain, one of Domination, and of course Arturia for set. And Metalar works perfectly with my stats. However, I don't have any issue and problem to use different debuff RT. Remember, your stats are not the most important thing in a dungeon. The success is. So more debuff, better debuff is more chance for a success. So don't run with Merilith Mask, because you want your stats or item level. That's a shitty debuff. You should always have 3 the best debuffs, or well, 4: Metalar, Dragonborn Blades, Demogorgon and Halaster, and 4th, for example, Tentacle Rod or Lantern, or anything with 10% debuff. Regular overloads. To be honest, I don't switch to Draw Ward or Demon Ward most of the times. I don't care about the damage that much. It doesn't make enough difference for me. To be honest, I'm much more lazy than I was in the past. So I'm just most of the times eyeballing things. I don't run too much tests. So I don't have all the wisdom for clerics. I'm not that thorough with my builds as I was in the past. So remember, that's not the best build you can get. That's just my build. It works for me. I do good enough damage. Right now, clerics can't really compete with really good HRs and wizards, but I'm not that far off. I'm also putting my damage into the dungeon, and with good parties, it's enough. Cleric is basically, well, I want to say useless on a second boss, but it's not useless. Just difficult because we don't have any CC. So I'm always running with my regular build, with my regular encounters and fits class features. And still using Burning Patch, which is not the best. I think Critical Sun is better. But as I said, I'm lazy and I don't care about AoE damage. If I'm not the best there, just why bother? I have HRs and wizards for AoE damage. Well, you can still do really good damage, but you don't have CC. And the dailies, well, dailies are bad. Yeah, so for AoE, let me show, because many clerics don't know that cleric can really do good in AoE. with that build, we are going to use just 2 encounters for AoE damage. First thing is to align yourself with the mobs to hit as many of them as you can. You see, with my Searing Javelin I can hit all of those. However, when you hit here, you just hit 3. So just think, and you can really do good enough damage in AoE. You gotta be fast. We go Searing Javelin, Downing Light. And again, like in single target combat, we are using perfect balance. So always Searing Javelin, Downing Light, Searing Javelin, Downing Light. Or when there is just 1 mob or 2, 3 mobs, and you know you will be better off to just kill the big one and go like in single target, Forge Masters and Downing, still maintaining your stacks for perfect balance. Yeah, those are the boons I'm running. Most of the times I'm running movement speed. Only when I have a skull, I'm switching to revive sickness. A critical strike for my build. As of now I'm running action point gain and recharge speed. Probably the Forte will be good in place of any of those. I'd rather pick recharge speed and Forte than AP gain and Forte, but that's because I want to put more Prophecy of Doom between the articles, and as you notice it's 21 seconds almost. However, I'm using Opportunism, so I'm dropping the Prophecy of Doom first, then the RT, and I go with my rotation. Opportunism lets me shorten my cooldown just enough to put 3 Prophecy of Dooms in 60 seconds. Yeah, the companions. In AoE I'm running Ridges. In single target I'm running Black Death Scorpion. It's good enough damage. It's really good single target damage, and you always get the combat advantage, which is really useful in any dungeon or trial. I'm using Acute Senses. I'll get to stats at the end. I know it should be at the beginning, and that's how I did it. So for the stats, running CA on a crit save 3 times, Knight, Minsk Batiri, Raptor, and Golden Cat. Those are my insignias, and Opportunism and Tunnel Vision. You could use the Wicked Lich, however, it doesn't count into the Prophecy of Doom, so that's why I'm not using it. I was hoping it will work, because it would be really good mount power, in my opinion. You would have to drop it close to the beginning of your rotation, but I wouldn't drop it as first, because you need your stacks and procs of everything, and it's still really big hit. So I would use it after at least daily and a Forge Master's Flame, and then drop the mount power and the rest of rotation. Back to colors and insignias. Shepherd Devotion, because didn't have anything better to put there. Gladiator, and 3 Covenants. That's how I get that much of stats. Movement speed, rough AD, recharge speed, counter power, and outgoing healing. You can also, yeah, it's on my tank right now. I have also crit severity color, but with it I will be too overcapped on it, so I'm using recharge speed just for a POD cooldown. Now get to this to the stats. As I said, I have perfect caps with the ratings. I don't have all the 90% caps on all stats. I didn't want to go for green with stats because it's wasting of stats, and it looks fine. It's close enough most of the times. 39.7 with rating contribution 50, 49.9 and 49.9. So it's really good. And to get that stats, I'm using Squash Soup, Flask of Potency, and Sunlord's Gift Elixir with Ratatouille. And I invested in Dexterity, not in Charisma. It gives a bit more of crit severity, just for me to be able to use Recharge Speed color and not the crit severity color. My power will be capped in party. Most of the times we'll be running that, so we'll be overcapped. Accuracy with the armor and lightning flash will be 86%, so high enough. Combat advantage will be 90.7 in combat, including the armor, the shoes, the acute senses, tutor from healer or other support, and with the totem. Remember that acute senses does not proc that much as on a wizard or HR or another fast hitting class, so you will not always have the common advantage cap. Well, what you gonna do? Yeah, so 90.7 with everything procced. The crit strike will be 93.4 when everything procs and with OP in a party. I'm overcapped because most of the times you won't have all the stacks from the helmet. In combat you usually get 5-6 stacks, and when you finish your rotation your conflagrate will not proc the helmet most of the times because it's not a big enough hit. However, as I said, when you drip your rotation, you'll get 3 to 6 stacks with crit strike, but it's still good enough. On article will get your stacks. From where comes 93.4, so 10% from the helmet, 7.5 from lightning flash, 5% from the weapon set, and 2% from OP. You'll not always get the OP in party. So with all procced, it's still overcapped a little bit, 1.4% without the OP. And then we get to crit severity. It will be 88.3 with all proc. There's just one thing that we get the crit severity from, is the weapon set. If I use the Forte boon, I will get additional 2%, so I will be capped. But I don't care enough to just train the boons. Yeah, so that's it. You get plenty of possibilities to build your cleric. The rotation is more important than the equipment. If you get your stocks and damage bonuses, you'll do enough damage. It's to be honest, it's unfair of the advantage with the wizards and HRs because of the new sets and equipment. There is not the best options for clerics right now. That's why I'm sticking with Arcturia set. Probably you can go with other sets, but I find the article damage more important than sustained damage. You can use the set from Dragon Hunts. It will give you better sustained damage when you just switch around your stats and get more damage bonus, for example, and go over cap. But you will lose to me in article, which is, as I said, more important for me. So yeah, that's it. I think I mentioned everything. And yeah, I'm the Wood Elf for crit strike bonus, because I also play Cleric Healer and Gith Yankee. The Gith bonus was useless for Healer. That's why I switched to Wood Elf. And yeah, I guess that's it. Thanks.